Merry Christmas. My name's Cameron, and today I'm here to help raise money for the Wood Street Mission, which is a children's charity based in Greater Manchester. And today I'm going to be reading some pieces by 1Y in Year 7 of Stockport Grammar School. And this first piece is called Christmas Traditions by Molly Steele. Christmas means having family traditions that you love. These are traditions that are unique to just us and nobody else. It doesn't matter if people don't get it. We get it, and it brings us all together. It's the little things that make it special. I mean, a lot of people go to the carol concert at St George's Church on Christmas Eve, but how many people in the congregation have just had the annual competition about who can eat the hottest Christmas curry? And it's the same with the family film. There's always a big family debate about what the Christmas Eve movie will be. Always a debate, but it's always the same film. And that's what makes it Christmas. I wake up all through the night checking whether it's the magical time, 7:15 in our house. Then and only then, I can run into my parents' room, shouting at them to get up so we can have our presents. I mean, how long can it take for two grown people to make a cup of tea? But the best thing is spending time with the ones that you love, with no distractions. Nothing to do and nowhere to go. Just family. And that's the best tradition of all. Wow, thanks, Molly. You know, I love getting to go home at Christmas myself and spending time with my family too. So this next piece is called There's More to Christmas, and it's by Robert Morrison. Christmas is all about family time. Happy, jolly family time. Opening presents with colourful ribbons and paper, cards on every surface, and with pictures of robins and snowmen and angels, and toys and turkey. Christmas is a celebration of light and life and joy. But there are people that celebrate Christmas differently. They don't do the John Lewis advert kind of Christmas, the it's not just Christmas, it's an M&S Christmas kind of Christmas. They can't afford Christmas. Just stop and think about that. It's hard to have a happy, jolly family time if you don't even have a safe home, food on the table, or warm clothes on your back. This is what I think about at Christmas. It's easy to be almost blinded by your own happiness and your own presents, your own Christmas lunch, and your own family, and to take it all for granted. I try to think about the hidden people, the homeless, the lonely, those in need, and that's why we need charities like the Wood Street Mission and the Salvation Army. They make Christmas for everyone, because Christmas is for everyone. Wow, Robert, thank you so much. That was such a good piece. Now, we know times have been tough this year, but if you can spare anything, then please donate it at 532.com/Write Christmas. And have a good Christmas yourself.
Hello, I'm Haiesha Mistry, and I'm here today in a very festive 532 Theatre for the Write Christmas campaign to raise important funds for a charity called Wood Street Mission. Today I'm reading Fugue by Claire Marie Perry. She's got one of those haircuts, you know, that's shaved at the side? It instantly buys her popularity with a lot of the kids. Not me though, I think it looks a mess. A small tattoo of a swallow on her wrist. She probably wears dungarees when she's not teaching. Has a boyfriend with a beard, definitely a vegan. She's tapping grey painted nails on the screen, awaiting an innocuous answer to a banal question. Anyone? Any suggestions? What could we do to make our community a better place? We stare back. She's not having much luck. They call these sessions the STAR programme. Support, teach, attain, reach. It sounds like something that should be painted on the side of a minibus with rainbows and unicorns on it. They're meant to help us re-motivate after all the time we missed at school. Not everyone has to do them. Not everyone has to spend their Christmas holidays staring at themselves in a little prison light box on the screen, having to answer questions about, well, whatever it was she was asking. No. Only those with promise who come from families with low academic aspiration. I think that's me. At first I was offended. Then the other day I went home and I asked my dad what he got for his GCSEs. And he goes, I fudged him. Fudged him? What do you mean, fudged him, Dad? Fudged him, he says. Got all F's, U's, G's and E's. And then I thought, fair enough really. This one's on our world, our community. Anything at all? What can we do to make our community, our world, a better place? No? Nothing? We're about 7 minutes in and she's already losing the will to live. Do you get paid for doing this? I ask. I put my face up to the screen, trying to get a glimpse into her home, but she's deliberately placed herself in front of a white wall. Smart. Not a penny, Riley, no. Well, that's a bit rubbish, isn't it? It is, Riley, yeah. But if we could make this as pain-free as possible, that would be great. Our community, our home, anything we could do. I start to laugh. Our community, I ask her. Yes, Riley, our community. That's the title of the session. Our community. Me, you, and Barrett Home Barbie over there. I'm referring to the other girl in Zoom prison, Chloe. She stares back at me, blinking. She blinks about 30 times more per minute than the average human. I can't work out if she's got something in her eye or if it's some kind of nervous reaction. I ask her about why she's here. Not about the blinking. Same reason as you, she tells me. We predicted high grades, but we're not getting them. Well, but I do jacking lessons. You're all gel pens and paper chase. Your dad's proper minted, so there's certainly no low academic aspirations there. My parents are divorced. Yeah, and whose aren't? That makes you suddenly stupid, does it? She goes to reply, but Miss Emmett stops her. Riley, is there any need to be so... She's trying to find a word to describe me that isn't too offensive, that won't drop her in it if I decided to take it upon myself to report her. She's struggling. Girls, she's using her best teacher voice, the one she's probably practiced in the mirror. I have been asked to roll out this scheme to help students who, for whatever reason, are not on track to meet their target grades. Then, certain teachers, me included, teach the sessions online with a small group of students who fall into that category. That's you, okay? That's why we're here. I stare at Chloe. I can tell by her eyeline that she's looking at her own little reflection. That will be in a little box at the bottom of the screen. She keeps tucking her hair behind her ear, then untucking it again like some malfunctioning robot doll. She's actually used some kind of filter that puts a little dancing Christmas tree above her head and some holly around the edges of her screen, which for some reason irritates me even more than the hair tucking and the blinking. On her screen, I can see out of the window that's behind her. She clearly lives on one of those posh new build estates. House after identical house. A big, well-looked after garden. A garden to herself that you're allowed in at any time. Not a shared one that you're not actually allowed to share anymore. To many people, not following the rules, in the summer months, they said. So they brought in a timetable. An hour a day in the garden for each household. It's not summer now though, and no one in the block uses the garden, but the timetable is still up on the notice board. I think it's just that whoever's in charge has forgotten to write it down. But there's all kinds of angry red signs about fines and penalties, so I've not risked it. But there's so much snow. I want a play in it. I know I'm 15, but there's still something magical about being the first person to place your footprints in crisp, fresh, untouched snow. Like you're making your mark. You've had an impact on something, if only for a fleeting moment. I can't though. My allocated slot in the garden is 12:30 till 1:30, which is now, so I'll miss it. Miss, asked Barrett Barbie, who decides the target grades? Is it the teachers? Not the teachers. Chloe, no, it's quite complicated. Why do you ask? I roll my eyes, but I'm actually quite interested because God knows how I'm predicted a level 8 in physics when I've barely opened a textbook in the past 2 years. And I can't even draw a stick man. And Porter's predicted me an 8 in that. Anyway, turns out teachers don't predict our grades. No. It goes on what we got in our SAT exams. SATs, tests that we did when we were 6, predict the grades that we are meant to get for our GCSEs. When we're 16, for every subject. We didn't even do art. That is madness. Miss Emma actually agrees for once and doesn't tell me off. You know what I want to do? I want to go back in time and find 6-year-old Keno me and be like, Riley love, chill out. Don't practice your reading and your writing. Be crap. Forget Biff and Chip and their dopey looking dog. Traitors. Right backwards. Don't learn to count. That way, when you get to 15, they'll think you're a proper thicko and just leave you alone. Otherwise, little Riley, all this colouring in the lines he's going to do is make them think you can get an 8 in physics for your GCSEs and you'll have to live out your holidays stuck on a school laptop instead of nothing, I suppose. Which is why I'm here, because even her voice is better than no one's. Only just because I hate it. Miss Emmett, really, hate her. Miss, pipes up Chloe. Except it's more like Miss, because she speaks like she's constantly mid-fall from a high cliff. Miss! Chloe, please tell me this is an attempt to answer the question I asked. What now feels like several hours ago? No. And I don't mean to be rude, like I am interested in the sessions and that, but is all this stuff going to get us better grades? Well, I think we've been through this, Chloe. It's not just about the academic side of things. The idea is that these sessions might make you feel a bit empowered, like you can make a difference in the world, and therefore feel motivated to give your all. And she's clearly reading from a sheet that's in front of her, like a hostage reading a ransom note. Be the change you want to see in the world. I see it then. That she wants to be here about as much as I do. She's probably been told what to do, what to say. Has no choice, just like us. I suppose it's her holiday as well. I almost feel sorry for her. For a moment, I think about backing down. The moment will pass. It will pass, then bury itself, eat itself whole, and tick some sort of box so the school doesn't get crapped on by Ofsted again. Yes, Riley, and that. She puts her head in her hands and inhales and exhales 3 times. I wonder if it's a technique they might have taught her on her, how to be patient and not put your fist through the screen teacher course. Okay, let's try again. I'll go. Changes we could make. So, sometimes when I'm in the car and I'm waiting for someone, I would leave the engine running. You know, if I'm charging my phone or keeping the heating on, now switch it off. Oh well, that's brilliant that, job done. That solved a lot of issues in my community. I'm about to tell her this, but before I can, I'm interrupted by Chloe. Dogs! She yells more loudly than is necessary, making Miss Emmett jump on the screen. Dogs? Asked Miss Emmett, who actually looks like another little part of her has died inside. These are the bits they don't show you on those Be a Teacher adverts, where they're all running around with their paper mache balloons on their heads, pretending to be the solar system. Yeah, dogs. You can, like, clean up after them instead of letting them, like, poo on the path. I stood in some last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Jesus, I banged my head on the desk repeatedly just to feel anything other than the utter tedium of my existence. What about our global community? Recycling. I've actually started shopping in those shops, you know, where you take your own containers, cut down on my plastic use. So if I need spices or herbs or rice perhaps, I take in my own jars. Yes, spices, and that for those gourmet curries we make. Tupperware, that's much more relevant. Riley, what's that in your hand? It's a water bottle, I tell her, because it's a water bottle. Yes, a plastic water bottle. Yeah. So, what could you do with it once you've finished with it? Oh, and I could do it. I could smile and say, I'll reuse it or recycle it, miss. I could, but I don't. Instead, I say, I'll throw it away with the rest of them, miss. Or you could, no, not going to do it. No. Recycle it, shouts Chloe, like some deranged cheerleader. Thank you, Chloe. Get stuffed, Chloe. Riley, enough. Or better still, you could buy a reusable one. And that is why I hate her. The only reason I've got this water bottle is because they had a job lot at the food bank. It's heavy on. Why am I even going to spend £1.20 on some water, let alone a £5 on an empty bottle? She's beyond clueless. I zone out while she bangs on about some oceans and more plastic than fish or whatever. Before I really know what I'm doing, I'm pouring my very expensive water from my non-reusable water bottle all over my work and throwing it at the screen. She asks me why. I say, I'm hungry. She says, well, we all get hungry, Riley. I missed my lunch today because I was setting up this session, but you don't see me behaving like that. No, I say. No, I don't mean I'm hungry, as in I've skipped my Marks and Spencer's quinoa falafel wrap or whatever. I'm hungry, as in I've not eaten since 1 o'clock yesterday because there's no food in the house, because there's never any food in the house, and I can't get to the food bank because it's too far to walk and I don't have any money to get the bus there. Oh, I'm sorry, Riley. I didn't realise. I'm sorry, She looks like she's looking for some other words, hidden amongst the letters on her keyboard. There and on, then. Is your mum not around, Riley? I've no idea, miss. Maybe she's at work. Maybe she's passed out in the bedroom. Maybe she's visiting her latest boyfriend, the lovely Steve. Doesn't really matter though. She's not going to be baking flapjacks or putting a roast chicken in the oven at any time soon. You know, miss, if we're talking about making our community a better place, there's kids in this block, me included, who don't have access to a hot meal every day. But as long as the fish are okay, then who cares? But that's a bit trickier, isn't it, miss? You can't solve that with paper straws and £7 water bottles. I'm sorry, Riley. I don't get a say in what I don't bother waiting to hear what Miss Emmett has to say. Instead, I tell her to go boil her head and slam the laptop lid down. It's been 2 hours since Water Bottle Gate, since I told Miss Emmett to go boil her head. I'm not sure what's more boring, talking about poorly fish and Tupperware or daytime television. How many different versions of a programme where old people sell old stuff can there possibly be? There's a knock at the door. It's probably Steve. He's not quite grasped the whole social distancing thing yet, which is ironic really, because socially he is very distant. I can't be bothered with him, so I ignore it. There's another knock. I creep up to the door and look through the peephole. Whoa, there she is, Miss Emmett, on my actual front doorstep. It's a weird feeling, like seeing a celebrity you despise in the flesh. You're kind of repulsed, but at the same time, you can't help but feel a bit like in awe. No way am I opening that door though. Listen to her go on about respect and letting herself down and not falling behind in these unprecedented times and blah, blah, blah. I watch her through the peephole. She stands waiting, but doesn't say anything. She looks really young, but she's in jeans and a hoodie. Like, if I saw her on the street, I'd probably think she was just a bit older than me. She steps back and walks off down the corridor. She's left the bag on the doorstep. Brilliant. Probably a list of activities I missed earlier. Design a poster, draw a diagram, write a letter to, no thanks. I wait till she's gone and then pick it up anyway. It's not worksheets though, it's heavier. I sit on the living room floor and look inside. There's a sandwich, neatly wrapped in cling film, some salad in a plastic carton, a bag of crisps, and a carton of orange juice. There's a note stuck to the bag. Sorry, Riley, I didn't think. Hope this helps a bit. Same again tomorrow, Miss E. I think I might cry, but instead, I eat and I realise how hungry I was and how hungry I would have been by the end of the day. I pick the bag up to put in the bin and feel something else at the bottom. I tip the bag upside down and falls out a packet of little chocolate Santas. I don't know why, but that properly sets me off. I take them and go and sit by the window, letting the tears finally come, the winter sun on my face, overlooking a garden covered in perfect, untouched snow that I'm not allowed in. I watch the snowflakes fall. Others disappear like they were never here, were never noticed. I watch them flutter and dance and twirl, eating little chocolate Santas that someone else has bought for me, and I let more tears fall, some of them sad, only some. Wow, that was an amazing story by Claire Marie Perry, and I hope you all have a lovely Christmas.